We in the office.
Just say it how you feel.
Facts.
Say it how you feel.
Oh! We in the office. Oh! Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Say It How You Feel. Today, we have a very interesting topic for you couples out there. I think this shit's going to really, it's going to hit them hard. Pause.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I like where this is headed. Go ahead. Let's lead them into this, man. Let's get to it.
All right. So today's episode is going to be one of it's an interesting topic. This is really going to play onto like social media, cheating, being ignorant to certain things, and is creating this faithful and unfaithful relationship with social media and the temptations that may come of it. Right? This is all one big fucking pile of I don't even know what you would call this shit.
I feel like it's just we let's call this one fighting temptation. How about that? How about that?
Love it.
All
So
right.
before we dive in, I'm Say.
I'm Mo.
And again, this is Say How You Feel. So let's get down to it, right? Social media, one of the biggest factors today with cheating. Well, most times with cheating and putting all this energy out there. I think social media plays a heavy factor on creating this type of temptation.
I mean, it definitely does because you got everything right there in your face, right at your fingertips. You know what I'm saying? But cheating has always been a part of relationships. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is back in the day, your granddaddy could have, what I'm saying, his woman right here, and then 3 miles up the road, he got a whole nother family. You know what I'm saying? You can't do
Mhm.
that shit now.
So
Everything,
yeah,
everything is exposed. Everything, your life is at everyone's fingertips now. And everybody's so willing to share their life. So it's different, man. But it's always been a part of the game.
but okay, let me ask you this though. Back then, what were people doing in order to get out and think that they want more or feel like they want more? There was something going on at that time. I feel like there's always been an influence that has pushed people to want more than what they have.
I don't necessarily feel that there's an influence. That's just a way of human nature. You know what I'm saying? Especially of male nature. We've talked
Mm,
about this in the past, is the humans and what penguins, swans are like the only monogamous. It's like it's not something that's inherent in nature. Period.
okay.
So that was my granddaddy's biggest thing was he always said that he don't feel men should have one woman. He never believed that.
Okay, well, let's say this though. All right, let's say it's like you and there's no other women on the planet. Let's say it's one man, one woman, right? That's it. That's all you got. If you don't have like another outside factor of wanting more, right? Would you think men would still want to cheat, or could that person cheat? Clearly not, because there's nobody else to cheat with. But you don't feel like there's other things that come into play that kind of play on those emotions?
Yeah, fucking just as a man, just horniness. You know what I'm saying? You say it's just one man, one woman. Eventually, that man gonna find something else to fuck. Whether it's a tree, a fruit, something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro. All right.
I'm
So
just saying. They said Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Adam and Eve. That was the only woman. But before Eve, there was another.
mm,
There was another before her. It's just she wasn't
mm.
as docile. She was a go getter. So they had to cut that part out. Can't have no strong woman out here. We need a submissive woman. So that's why the whole Eve concept came up. But that's too deep for the intro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Too deep for
I
the intro.
Shit, we already like what? We already lost these niggas. Anyway, okay. Well, all right. Here's my point. I'm gonna just get to my point, right? My point is this, man. I feel like a lot of times, especially with social media, there is just so much that comes from it. When it comes to relationships, that I feel like it really tarnishes a good thing, potentially a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That's my argument. I had a lengthy conversation today about this shit, and I really realized that I know we say social media is the devil. There's a lot of shit that's on there that feeds us subconsciously that ends up making us make decisions that, of course, we regret. But the
hmm
shit that you don't see, the real shit that you don't see on social media, is what it takes to actually have what is a healthy relationship. Like you really don't see that shit. You're seeing a perspective or a glimpse of it, but there's so much underlying shit that happens that people are not exposed to, so they don't understand. This is what it's supposed to be like. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? And I
Yeah.
think that's why I wanted to discuss this shit, because I'm like, yo, if we truly, 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 truly took a look at what's healthy, what you can do to avoid these temptations or urges, it's interesting. I think getting off of social media is probably the only answer to that solution.
I mean, social if it's all about a person's will. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody force you to do shit. Social media can't force you to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's something that if you're gonna do it, it's because you wanted to do it. You know, maybe that social media gave you the push, or put that fruit right in front of your face. You was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a bite. But if you didn't want to taste that fruit, you wouldn't have took that bite. You know what I'm saying? So like trying to put the blame on social media, I know it definitely has an effect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When that's all you see and that's all you think about, you know. So
It's
of
true.
course, it's just a part of programming. It's the same thing with commercials. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with any visual information that you're taking in, anything that you're reading, really. Any information that you're bringing in, you're gonna let that shit swirl around, and it will influence you if you let it. So I don't. I feel like people use the social media thing as an excuse. If you really feel like it's that big of a deal, you should definitely get off of social media. If you can't control yourself, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have that will to be able to withstand the bullshit that's gonna come at you, then
Mm-hmm.
social media it's definitely a contributing factor. But that's the least of your problems. Because wait till you get out here in the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Like, and another
that's
thing
true.
I would say, and another thing that comes with this whole social media bullshit that enables people is the fact that like you can be who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You can portray yourself to be something that you're not on social media. I'd have talked to people who on social media, the way they use words is different than the way they talk in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like you- you're a
Yeah,
character on social media. Yeah, that's not even you, you know?
facts. Okay. This is gonna be a very interesting topic. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Listen, okay, so look, you made a very good point. It's like, okay, where's the accountability for the person who's actually um acting on these temptations, acting on these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be some type of accountability. So yes, I do agree. You wouldn't have done something unless you wanted to do it,
Unless you
right?
wanted to do it. Nobody forced you to do that. You know what I'm saying? That comment didn't force you to do shit. You took that and now you're using that as your excuse to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or you using like that's your fuel. You just needed somebody to put a battery in your back. Or you needed, like I said, you just needed that fruit to be hung in front of you. And you're like, all right, cool. Fuck it. I'm gonna take a little
Right.
taste.
Let me propose this to you, right? They say like I always feel like ignorance is bliss. Like if you do not know of something, if you don't know of anything else, could you really be blamed for it, right? Could you really be punished for something that you do not know? That's how I look at that. And when it comes to social media and it comes to everything that's going on, I truly do believe that if people weren't so heavy, like if it wasn't hung in front of us, like you said, all the time, I do believe we'd have a different outcome in what goes on and how people are acting in society today. I feel like we're more equipped to handle these kind of things than we were before in the past.
I feel like that argument is enabling than a motherfucker. You know what I'm
Talk
saying?
to me.
That's not, again, that we're not taking accountability for our own actions at that point. Ignorance is bliss. How can you be that ignorant when you have the world at your fingertips? If you can work social media, you can work fucking Google. Ignorance at
Right.
that point is not, it's not an excuse, because what are you ignorant about? That you didn't think you was gonna get caught? Is that where the ignorance is? Because if
No.
if we if we're talking about temptation and shit like that, if I was on the receiving end, you know what I'm saying, and was being cheated on, is it better to know or is it better not to know? You know,
Many would say it's better not to know.
and others would say, I gotta know that way I could get out of the situation. Others would say, I gotta know so I can fix it. Others would say, I
Mhm.
don't want to know because fuck it, like
Yeah.
it's a pick your poison type of deal. But it all comes back to accountability. It's about what you want, what you are willing to put up with, what you want to do.
Well, when I said, "Oh yes, I do understand that," and I agree. When I did make the comment though about being, ignorance is bliss, I'm talking about not if you don't if like I said again, if you're in a relationship, let's say it's your first relationship, and let's say you started at 25, which is fucking crazy, but it happens. First official true relationship, you started at that point, and you really don't know anything else about relationships. You don't know, you never lived with a person, you never had to deal with a person, you never had to understand or nothing. This is all new to you, it's new territory. If you have nothing to base it off of, right? There's no other outside influences. There's a lot of things that can happen in that relationship which form toxic traits, which is what happens usually, and those toxic traits, right, become normal.
Mhm.
And when they become normal, it becomes the relationship becomes unhealthy. Why is that? Because you don't have anything to base it off of. So let's say if you're on social media and you're looking at what other people are doing and you're looking at like what what you think appears to be a healthy relationship. You kind of get what I'm saying? Ignorance is bliss. It's like, let's say you didn't have those factors of social media to try to guide you into what you think is healthy and not healthy, or what looks nice, or what is perceived to be nice. Ignorance is bliss in the fact that you don't have anything to base it off of. It's all new to you. So if you're not, and this goes back to the temptation part, if you're not being tempted by it, right? Would you want it? That's my argument.
And that's again that argument like it's just that argument is it doesn't hold water, because if it wasn't
Gotcha.
social media, it would be something else. It would be
Mm,
another couple. You know what I'm saying? How many times have you heard that? You know,
mm,
I bet you he don't talk to her like this. I bet you this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the people, I guess it's human nature to always want to compare or to see the good in somebody else and expect that out of something. It's like it's the ignorance is bliss type deal is dope, but for you to be completely ignorant, you have to be in a complete bubble, because all outside factors are going to play some type of role, whether you're seeing, whether you're hearing, whether you smelling something. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the social media. So I feel like social media is definitely
a
when you get
factor.
into the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna see. Like I said, you're gonna keep seeing that, and eventually that's gonna be what you think about. But at the end of the day, it's up
Mm,
to you to switch that algorithm. You can make conscious moves to try to change your algorithm up on social
mm.
media. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can control the factors in your life. You can stop fucking with people, stop being around certain people who are toxic. You don't have to keep putting yourself in that situation to keep dealing with the shit that you're dealing with. It all comes back to accountability. It's
Mm.
all about you making the change, you taking
God
control and saying, fuck it. Like, you
damn.
know what? I'm tired of seeing this bullshit. Let me go look up something else. Let me look up a bunch of fucking dog videos so I get all these bitches off my timeline. You know what I'm saying? Like it's up to you to take control of that.
Yes.
That responsibility don't fall on nobody else.
I'm not that we're trying to persuade each other, but that was a solid fucking answer, bro. That was good. That's solid, bro. There's no way around that. Nigga, take accountability. It's your fault. But
Exactly. And I was gonna say, you know, the thing about being in a relationship, right? The thing about
mhm,
being in a relationship, and people can talk this bullshit. I see bitches all the time. Sorry, I call them
mhm,
bitches because I don't know the names individually. I just say females. I
mhm.
see females all the time talk about they want a lame, you know what I'm saying? They want somebody that's just gonna be in the house and just that don't nobody want. And that's bullshit. That's
Mhm.
complete bullshit. Because if you were with somebody that nobody wanted, your ass wouldn't want to meet.
That's right. That's right. That's
So
110% correct.
the temptation is always there. Again, it falls back on the person. It falls back on the individual. You cannot blame the outside factors in something that was an inside decision. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Mhm. No, I completely agree. I completely agree. Now, here's my next thing though, right? Because you made a very valid point. If nobody wants this motherfucker, neither do you. So what I do have to say is this. If you look at okay, it's gonna be kind of interesting, but there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to relationships and what people really want, right? That's the thing. Because if you want one thing, you say you want one thing, but you really want another, right? And another thing that people do subconsciously is they project a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that. So my next point that I'm making when it comes to this type of fighting temptation and stuff like that is what you're feeding yourself, right? So if you let's say for example you sit here and you say you like the idea of having a stay at home a girl that doesn't go out, doesn't have any friends, and all she's doing is she's staying home and taking care of your every need. You do understand though, there's a fucking a price to be paid on that one because if she's not getting no other type of stimulus, where do you think it's going to come from?
Gotta come from you.
Got to. And nobody, I don't care who you are, is going to want to sit there and have to stimulate their partner in that sense 24/7. It's impossible. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You got to go to work, you have to focus on other things. If you guys have kids, that plays a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Pets, that plays a factor. So people say they want these things, but the truth be told, it's just they don't know how to manage them. They don't know how to coincide with that. And then like I said again, I feel like there's a lot of different social media, a lot of things that tell you this is how it should be or this is what we do, but it's not the truth. It's only a fraction of what you're really seeing. So I guess a lot of this shit comes down to like do what works for you, but it's a hypocrisy. A lot of it's a hypocrisy.
When you said project, me and the wife were having this conversation yesterday
Mhm,
about love languages. You know,
mhm,
typically, what's one of the earliest things that you learned as a child? Treat others the way you want to be treated,
mhm,
right? So my love language is touch. Like I love to touch. I'm a very affectionate type of person. You know what I'm saying? Pause, no
mhm.
homo. Even when we around each other, like I give a nigga a hug in a second. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not a big deal for me to because I touch is the way I express my love. You know what I'm saying? Handshakes, I bring motherfuckers in close. Get close to me, bitch. You in my bubble. It means I
Mhm,
trust you, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and in terms of projecting, when it comes down to things like the love language or communication, it that shit it doesn't always work, because some people don't like to be touched.
mhm. No,
some
it's
people
true.
really some people really don't like to be touched. So it's like it's all about when this break down into temptation and circling back, it's you got to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to know yourself. I told you about the little comedy joint that's supposed to be coming up. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm not gonna do anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm strong
Mhm.
enough. I know my will. But why even put yourself in a situation where you would have to battle anything? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
Like why
Absolutely.
why do that to yourself?
That's boom. Next point. I'm glad you brought that up because when you want to talk about putting yourself in a situation, right, or putting yourself in these environments where you potentially could fuck up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a good example. I had this conversation this morning, and it was a very interesting one. So my girl was like, "Listen, you know, me personally, I don't feel like you know you liking a picture, or let's say like a guy's liking a picture for a celebrity. I don't consider that a big deal." Right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you know what? They're celebrities. They got millions of followers. They posting their pictures. They're doing what they're doing. I don't find it a big deal. However, let's say
But
yes, there's always a but. Let's say there's a chick in the area and she's posted bikini pictures or she's posting a picture and you like the picture or you drop a comment or whatever the case. We'll stick with likes because comments is a different ball game. That's another thing
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Emojis is even a step further, nigga. But let's say we're doing likes, right? So you drop a like on this basic bitch's photo. That's a
And
problem
it's
to me.
14 and you're number 15.
Yes. That's a problem. That's a problem to me. She's like, because I feel like you're entertaining that, right? What do you like about that picture? Oh, because she's in a bikini. What's so enticing? What's so great about that? Why are you supporting it? So I let her listen. I let her talk for about a good 20 minutes on this, right? I didn't say shit. I just listened. And in my
Mm-hmm.
head, I was itching to fucking reply, but I was like, let me listen to what she's saying. So then when she was done, I was like, are you finished? I
See,
hit it with
and that's what niggas fuck up at. You're not
why?
listening to understand. You're
Oh
listening to
no.
fucking respond. You
I was
fucking
listening.
dick.
No, no, I
You
would
dick.
listen.
You just said it. You just
I
said
no
it. For
no.
20
I
minutes, you thought they're thinking about your rebuttal to some shit that she said.
no no
Not
no.
really thinking about what the fuck she said.
I no no no. I was listening to what she said because I had my rebuttal ready, but for 20 minutes I let her speak, right? Itching to say my rebuttal, but I also took a second to understand where she was coming from. I understood what she meant the moment she said it.
Yeah.
However, she elaborated with many different other instances for 20 minutes. She's just trying to make sure she gets a point across. She's trying to drive it home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To
That's
give us some
that's okay.
details. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
She wants to make sure her argument is flawless, right?
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I love that. Good. This is why I love having these conversations because this shit is fun, right? I like spending the first 3 hours of our morning talking about shit. It's fun. So are you done? Yeah, my turn. Tag. So now I'm like, listen, and this is growth on my part because I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you look at say, let's say 10 years ago, like me being 20 years old, 21 years old, right? Versus say at 31, there has been a exponential amount of growth, bro. I've grown
Mhm.
so much and I realized so much. And of course, without those lessons and experiences, I wouldn't be who the fuck I am today. Of course, that's come on.
Yeah.
Now, back then, no one could have told me I can't like whoever's picture I didn't want to like for whatever reason. Today, I understand that that shit has consequences, right? And it
And
does things.
repercussions.
It does. It fucking does. And she made a very valid point. Like, the chick that's in the area and I'm liking her photo in a bikini and shit, that's a bit much, you know. But I was like, the reason, and I said this and I meant this shit when I said it. I was like, I find it very interesting that you make the statement that a celebrity, me liking us, let's say if I like Rihanna's picture, it's okay. But if I like fucking Sarah from down the block, right, in a bikini picture, it's a problem. And I was like, the reason why it's a problem, because for many women, including yourself, in this particular argument, I know she's not insecure, but in this particular conversation, including yourself, you guys feel that there's a disconnect, right? There's such a
You
disconnect.
think I can't pull Rihanna? That's
Exactly.
what you think.
Exactly. Right.
How dare
That's
you underestimate me like this?
exactly. Yo, fucking exactly. That was my point. There you go. You got it. I was like, you think that there's a disconnect? Like, there's no way in hell this nigga could ever pull her. There's no way in hell he could ever pull a Karol G, or he could ever pull any one of these fucking celebrities, right? You want to know what's funny though? And on some real shit, just as easily, as I can like the chick in the neighborhood's picture, right? And I'm liking, let's say, Rihanna's picture. I'm gonna tell you one thing I've learned in life: nothing is impossible, right?
Facts.
And I'm
Facts.
not. And I was like, if you give the right circumstances with the right timing, I guarantee you, not only could I pour Rihanna, I could be her baby daddy, right? Or her next
Facts.
baby daddy. It
Yeah, I
just
can dig it. Bro, we here. I'm right there with
exactly.
you.
So that my argument was like, if you're the thing is, and I made this very clear. I was like, it's not a big deal to like. It's gonna be one of two things. It's not a big deal to like either Rihanna's picture and Sarah's picture, or you don't like either one of those pictures. And I'm gonna tell you why. Even though in your mind you feel like there's such a disconnect, I can never pull her, right? I can never pull someone of that status, a celebrity at that level. You're condoning it for one and not condoning it for the other, but it's literally the same exact thing. And some women may not agree with this, but if their partner is liking, let's say, strictly models that have over 1 point whatever million followers or whatever, and they're liking those photos, it's still gonna bother you because you probably don't feel like you're good enough in some aspects. But it really fucking grinds your gears when it's a bitch that's so close to you that she could steal your nigga if she really wanted to. That's
And
the
but
part that really bothers
that's
them.
the thing. That's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? You just hit it on the head there. Is when you give a local bitch a like,
Mm-hmm.
that should go to females' heads, bro. It really do.
What?
You know what I'm
Tell me
saying? That
what?
should go to their head. Like, oh, you look at her man liking my shit. You know what I'm saying? He got a
Yes,
whole like so and for you, it was just a like. Boom. Okay, I like the picture. Keep it moving. This shit
mm-hmm.
that made this bitch whole day. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So that's
That's right.
why they harp more on that, because Rihanna don't see that fucking like. She don't give a fuck about that like.
And
You know what I'm
but
saying?
yes, but that's what my girl said too. She's like, oh, she doesn't see that like. You think Kylie looks at all her fucking likes? I said
Fuck
no.
no. Ain't no
But
way.
she's like, you think she's gonna see the one like from Say and be like, oh my God, Say like my picture? I was like, no, but let me tell you what it does do, right? I guarantee you, if a million people stop liking her picture, I guarantee it'll bother her.
Mm-hmm.
So that one like does contribute. It may not have such an impact, but it contributes to that celebrity's own fucking image. And I don't want to say shallowness, but it contributes to their self-gratification on or not self-gratification, but their gratification from others in some way, shape, or form. My
But
one
look
like
at your
may not be a
ratio.
difference.
Look at your
Right.
ratio though, because that $1 in your bank account ain't gonna make a difference for real. You know what I'm saying? That dollar could be gone in a second, but that $1 million in the bank account will be a lot different.
Correct. But it still plays a part. You understand what I'm saying? On to the celebrity, it's nothing. But I'm going back to bringing it down to us regular folk down here, right?
It's
It
locals.
does play a part, bro. And whether they want to admit it or not, it does play a part in a relationship. Like me personally, now, at this point in time in my life, I don't entertain that shit. I'll see some shit, I'll look at some shit, but I'm not gonna sit there. Even celebrities, I don't even like if you got someone in a bikini or whatever, especially when Ice Spice was out here doing all the shit that she was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was seeing it, but I'm not sitting here tapping like, oh my God, yes. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it doesn't, it's at this point in time, my age, I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. We can all agree she's a beautiful young lady. You know, she got a body, or this person looks nice, this person looks whatever. But to me, I don't see a difference in liking the chick down the blocks picture and difference from a celebrity. It's all shit that I'm entertaining and I'm feeding. For what?
I I completely agree with you and completely don't agree at the same time because I do
Mhm,
see a difference in that. Like I completely hear her argument when it comes to that. However,
mhm,
I'm not liking shit.
mhm.
Fuck that. It ain't worth it. Because what does that do for me? Nothing.
Right.
Literally
That's my
does
point.
nothing for me. Neither one of them.
And
Neither
and
one
I
of them.
agree. I listen, I understand her point and I agree with her. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I want to make this very clear. I agree with what she said, right?
Hmm.
It's acceptable because the only reason why it's acceptable is because she's saying it's acceptable in this relationship.
Hmm.
Because if she said it wasn't acceptable, what would I have to do? Agree or get the fuck out of the relationship, right? That those are my
Yeah.
options. That's the thing though. So we're gonna get to my next point, right? Who sets the
Bef-
boundaries?
I was about to say before you get to the next point, my big thing though is how dare you think I can't? How dare you? How what?
Yo,
How
yep,
dare you?
yes. That makes me. I mean, that was she never said that I couldn't. I would
Yeah,
just use that
she
as
implied it
example.
though.
No, 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 no. She never. No, I am the person that brought that up because
Yeah,
I
I got
said,
you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got
She
you.
never said that, and I was like, what you think I can? She started laughing. She's like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, it's
You better not
okay.
say it, goddammit.
Yo, but
How
that, yeah,
dare
man.
you test my gangster? It's pimping in my blood. This shit is in me, not on me. You understand me? Get the
Oh
fuck out of
God.
here.
But yeah. So okay. So back to boundaries, right? This is great. Back to boundaries. So here we go, right? So now the reason why what she said is acceptable, and me and her can agree, because that's our relationship, right? If she
Hmm.
told me I don't feel comfortable with you liking Rihanna's picture, but you can like the girl down the street's picture, then I can do that, right? It's okay. Now, like you said at the beginning of this topic, in the beginning of this conversation, you said it's my choice. So I do what I want, right?
Hmm.
However, if she told me she don't let me liking either of their pictures, cool. If she said I can like both of them, it's cool. Either way, it goes based on what my partner allows and what I want to do, right? Because of course
Hmm.
I'm gonna do what I want to do. Me personally, I don't like either. She say I could like one or not the other, but that's just what works for us and what she's comfortable with. So
And
I
it's
feel like
always
a
nice
lot.
to have options. Like, thanks. I appreciate that.
It's true.
Thanks for the choice.
Yeah. No one ever wants to feel like they don't have a choice.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But now that goes to boundaries. So now boundaries. So boundaries in a relationship is a very interesting thing because, like I said, what's acceptable for one person may not be acceptable to another person. And
Facts.
before you get into a relationship, like a serious one, these are things you guys got to talk about because they're really gonna they're are what's going to be the foundation of your relationship, and it can either be a wonderful one or b hell on earth. And if you're
And
spending 90% of your time with this person, it should be heaven at all times.
you don't know what you were gonna do until you put in that situation. You know what I'm saying? You really
Mm,
don't, because you might have been cool with it in the last relationship. You might not have gave a fuck that she was liking or going out. You didn't care. But then you get a new one. It's like, nope, nah, I'd keep you in the house.
mm. Is that fair though?
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
no, it's
It
not.
is. It is
How?
because
Explain this to
because
me.
if that's something that she's cool with, it is fair. You know what I'm saying? If your partner is cool with that, so what? As you grow, what you expect out of your partner grows too. Shit
Yes,
changes. Shit changes. You know what I'm saying?
of
So
course.
you may have had a horrible experience with the last shorty that you gave all this freedom to, or this last man that you gave all this freedom to. So you're not
Mm,
willing to accept that shit with the next person. No, fuck that. Why do you even have a social media?
here we go.
what are you doing? You know?
Here we go. I'm about to light your ass up. Here we go.
Let's get it.
So, okay, you made a very good point, right? And this is the problem that I'm seeing today. And I said this before. The last relationship that a person's in, it shapes them, right? When I
It
was
does.
giving my example about ignorance is bliss. So all those toxic things that came from that last relationship shape you. Of course, your
Hmm.
experiences shape you. I said this. Now, here's the problem. Many women today, and I'm speaking on what I'm observing through comments,
Let's just say
through
people. Let's just say
people.
people.
Okay, but it's this comment. Okay, people. Fair enough. Thank you. People, even if to say how you feel, I'm still gonna say it. People, right? What I'm observing is this: they go into new relationships and they won't do what they did for the last person. For example, oh, that was a husband request, or oh, that was a wifey request. We're not at that level. Oh, that was a you want me to do something that I'm not gonna do for someone who's not my husband, or what I'm saying, like putting up these boundaries, like, oh, if you want me to do X, Y, and Z for you, then we need to be this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A great point that I've seen is you did this shit for the last nigga, but you won't do it for me, right? You did this for the last chick, but you won't do it for me. So why do I have to marry you in order for you to want to cook, clean, do all these other things? If and then I seen a guy that made a very valid point. He's like, "Don't I do all these things for you already?" Yeah. So how come you're not meeting me halfway? Because you're putting up a demand, right? It's like quid pro quo. That's not a relationship. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Did you lose me or you're tracking?
I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And
So
I completely agree. I completely agree to an extent.
I feel like when I see people, or women, they're like they've been hurt. I get it, but you cannot go into your next relationship. I'm not gonna say naive, but you can't go into your next relationship not giving that person your all, because I'm telling you, when you give somebody your all, one or two things are gonna happen, right? They're either gonna hurt you or they're not. And if you've been hurt before, you always got to keep in your back of your mind, like, this could happen again, and I won't take it so personal. I won't take it so hard. And as long as you have that thought in the back of your mind, you gotta love, like, you yourself. Corey Moore told me, in order to love somebody, bro, you have to love that person. You have to put your guard down. You have to be vulnerable with this person, or else you're not truly loving them. You told me this shit. Did
I
you
did.
not?
Yeah.
And I know you're probably like, damn.
You got me.
But you know what I'm
Where do
saying?
you Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So my thing is, when people, not women just only, but people make these comments about, oh, it's like the relationship is one side and a man has to provide and do all these different things, or let's say a woman doesn't have to do all these different things until she gets married. It's like you need to come into that relationship with full expectation that, okay, the last guy fucked me up really bad. He took advantage of me. But the thing is, what you should learn from that lesson, I mean, I can't tell you what to learn, but what a person should have learned from that lesson is you see red flags and you understand them and you observe them. Going into your next relationship, you should do nothing different except adhere to red flags. That means that you come into a relationship, if you like the person and you want to buy them something, buy them something. If you like the person and you want to cook and clean for them because you like that person, you love that person, do those things, right? Because you're not holding back because you want something from them. That's not, it's like that's a bad way to start a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Or to even be in a relationship. And then here comes the next part, going right fucking full circle, fighting temptations of, if a person is lacking something in a relationship, they're going to get it somehow, some way. Whether
Mhm.
it's porn, whether it's fucking masturbating, whatever the fuck it is, they're gonna get that stimulus from somewhere else. So what better way than to get that from your partner? This is something that I'm learning even in my day and age today. If I'm not talking to my partner, then who the fuck am I talking to?
Mm.
If
Mm.
we can't talk, then who am I talking to? If when we have these little spats and we can't get over it, who the fuck am I getting my stimulus from?
Mm.
And there you go. And that breeds one problem after another. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
I do believe this though. When it comes to fighting temptations, when it comes to all these emotions, um, being in a relationship is difficult. It's fun, right? I like my partner. I love my partner. It's fun. We have a lot of fun. We don't agree on everything. We're so fucking different, but the shit just works, man. And I think like a lot of times, especially with women and they're emotional creatures, I'm a person of logic. I like to approach things with logic. And this is say it how you feel. So that's very conflicting in itself. However, because you say something the way you feel and because you look at something logical, in between that, what do you come to? Like a happy medium, right? A
Mhm.
good a good medium. And I feel like that's what a lot of relationships lack. And that's where you get these temptations. And boy, are they doing a number on kids, on adults, on old people? Like temptation these days and all these influences are fucking people up, bro. That was my
It's
argument.
because shit is too accessible. So
Yes.
it's you getting as with where we are now, everything is exposed. Everything is right there. Like you can't, ain't no running to hide from shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a camera everywhere. There's receipts
Mm.
everywhere. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So either you gonna stand on your two and own what you're doing, or you're gonna be constantly in this loop of trying to hide shit.
that's
You
true.
know, so it's like social media has fucked the game up completely, and it's messing with people's brains. These kids, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but it's the same thing that happened with TV. Same thing that happened with music. As the evolution of music happened, and sex became so prevalent, music videos came around, and now you don't just hear the sex, you can see it.
Mm.
And now at this point, you can practically engage in it. Fucking virtual reality is here, people.
I know.
It is
Yeah.
here. Is that considered cheating?
OnlyFans. When
Exactly.
you porn, when you think about all this stuff, you're absolutely right. Like you can live stream. You could be making some
And
money
take
off this shit too,
requests. And
and
take
take
requests.
requests. Would you like me to put that
But
in my ass, or you
you
know what
said
I'm
you want me
saying?
to put
Like,
my toes where? Yeah, absolutely. Peanut butter.
right?
Why the fuck not? You know, like
Yo, yeah.
it's
Ooh, great fucking point, bro.
it,
We on something today. I'll tell you that. We on
it
some
should
shit
have
today.
it should have fucked the game up, man. It
It
has fucked the
has.
game up. But only if you
Mm,
let it. You know what I'm saying? That's where it
yes.
always it swings all the way back to, you know, your personal accountability, and you take responsibility for your own moves. So what, you was tempted. So the fuck what?
So I mean, listen, that's a very valid point. Only if you let this shit, only if you let temptation seep into your life. Because I was about to make another point. I know we are talking about cheating, and relationships, because this it was for our couples. But what about people that are single, right? What about
Do
people that are
you?
single?
Do you?
So that's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Nah, fuck that. Get out here. Get
No,
out here. Everything.
no,
Everything. Whatever you like. Fuck it.
nah.
You
All
only here for a good time, not a long time. Understand
right,
that.
listen, let me tell you something. We talked about projecting, nigga. Are you projecting? Because that's you fucking bro. Come
I
on, man. That was
I can tell you in all honesty, 100% truth. If this were to end, I would never be in another relationship again.
I mean, you've told me that before, and I know you're serious. That's how I
Dead
know
ass
you.
serious.
Yes, that's how I know. That is how I know personally that you love your wife and you love your relationship. Because I know, I believe you to my core
I'm
that is the
telling you,
fucking truth.
this is when, and it's not about, you know, like no fairy tale type shit, but when you have somebody and y'all grow together, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like we done been together a decade. You know what I'm saying? Our entire adult life,
Hmm.
we've been together. And the fact that I had freedom, she never had real freedom like that. You know what I'm saying? She never lived by herself. You
Hmm.
know, it's always, so it's like I real life, like this is, we've been together. Like I've watched her grow. You know,
Hmm.
I don't watch the headaches. I done had a few headaches my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we have grown together. So if this were to end, I'm not putting in that work with nobody else. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
And I mean, and one other thing is the dynamic. You know, we being in a relationship, you cater to that other person's feelings. You know what I'm saying? You really do. You think, you consider them before you do anything,
Hmm.
because this is who the happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house. You know what I'm saying? Happy husband, whatever the fuck. It's you consider that other person before you make certain moves. If this ends, I don't give a fuck about nobody. Like it's all about me at that point. It's over. It's over.
Mm.
I'm not putting that energy into nobody else. So this us for life, man. I'm locked in. I'm not going nowhere.
No, I understand that, and I know you mean that shit when you say it. However, for single people, right? For
Mm-hmm.
someone who's single, I know you're telling them, man, do whatever the fuck you want. One, that shit gets played out. It does. And two, um, there's a sense of fucking loneliness, bro. We are social creatures. There's a sense of loneliness, and even if let's say you're practicing celibacy, right, or you're
That's
running through them,
that's a
whichever one,
lonely world, boy.
right? But is it so wrong, right? Is it so wrong to still remove yourself from these temptations of, like, let's say porn, or let's say, indulging in wanting other urges, or like people want relationships because they see their friends' relationships, or they're seeing them on social media and they feel lonely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with being alone. I mean, I was alone for a little bit. Some people say I haven't been alone long enough, and hey, that's cool too. But I know myself.
And being alone is so like undervalued. You know what I'm
It
saying? Coming
is.
from, I was technically an only child. I was raised, away from my siblings. I was raised by my grandparents. I had a little cousin who was raised with me, who was my little sister, but she wasn't there for the entire time. You know what I'm saying? As
Mhm.
somebody who had their own space, who had the privilege of having alone time, having quiet when I wanted quiet, I know how valuable that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I can see like it could get old after a while, but that's something you can control too. You don't have to be alone if you don't want to be alone. You can go to a social setting. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
It's true.
Being comfortable in that aloneness, being, taking advantage of that time where it's just quiet and you're the only person you have to worry about. Like if you single, be single, bitch. Like worry about yourself. Like be happy. That's the big thing. Is just be happy. You know?
I'm just saying, like, even single people face temptations. They have temptations of having social media play a role. And I keep going back to social media because it's a factor, man. It's one of the biggest factors in today when it comes to relationships and breakups and misery. I seen some shit last night. Literally, I was scrolling. I even seen the video. It's a whole fucking thread. A chick, it's this chick, she's in like some short shorts and a tank top, she's wearing orange, and he's like these guys, they go out and like ask questions and shit to see how dumb you are, whatever it is, right?
Oh, you
Yes,
talking about
yes,
Shorty? They had the boyfriend, and she said she had a boyfriend. She showed the
yeah,
nigga a picture of her boyfriend, and dog was
yes,
like, "Don't you got a boyfriend?" And she was like,
yes,
"Yeah." Like,
yes,
but
yes,
she was going whether that camera was there or not. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Some people, hey, you can't
yes.
be mad at somebody for choosing up, bro. It is what it is. It's part of the game.
No,
It's
it
part
is
of the
not.
game. It is, man. You
No,
can't.
it's not.
That's her. That's her. That ain't have shit to do with social media. She saw something. She wanted it. The camera was on and in her motherfucking face. You thought this shit wasn't going on social media? She didn't give a fuck. She didn't care. She
She
saw
did.
something. She wanted it. She made that choice. She was going. If her boyfriend was there, she was gonna go.
Mm. Well, right. Well, she for those who don't know what happened, she ends up twerking on the dude after telling him she has a boyfriend. She kissed the nigga
And
on the
gave him the
cheek.
number. And gave him the number.
Oh, I didn't know she gave him a number. Okay, and she gave him the number. So, the detective, the IG, I mean can you find her detective, right? He finds
Mm-hmm.
the chick, finds her boyfriend, DMs the boyfriend, sends the boyfriend the video, and you can kind of tell that the boyfriend is like a country boy, white dude, doesn't really, he's not really fucking with that aspect of like we'll call it the black social media. He's not fucking with the brothers and shit. And from what I see, at least, right? You could tell there's this huge separation. So the guy sent him the video, and he ends up like deactivating his account, bro. He deactivates all his social media because he's fucking embarrassed. He has
Yeah.
like 20 something thousand followers. She ends up deactivating her social media as well. And it became this whole thing like, yo, she did him dirty. Just work on yourself, protect yourself. And I guess they've been together since they were 15 years old. 15 years old.
15. Yeah. 15. Okay. So 15. That means you got a lot more life to live. You know what I'm saying? That was the best thing that could have happened to that young man. That was the best thing that could have happened to her because she could live her truth. You could go be a hoe, bitch. Go do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You could let that internal hoe out, and bro, you could go work on yourself and go level up on her ass. But that was the best thing that could have happened to them because to be together from 15 and to see her face temptation and go,
Mm,
she was going. How many times does that happen when the camera wasn't on? That's the real question.
mm, mm.
That's the real question. She was going whether the camera was there or not. And the fact that she went looking in the camera, that's a dangerous bitch, boy.
That's true.
That's a dangerous bitch
That's
right there. She don't give a fuck. She was all about chaos. That's pure chaotic energy right there. That bitch was
that's
probably
true.
toxic as shit.
I mean, legend has it they've broken up a few times in the past, like an on and off thing. So, and it makes perfect sense, man. Mm, she was going for it, whether or not that camera was there. I think she probably even would have went harder. If the camera wasn't there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the whole being single thing is. You know what I'm saying? It's about being you, living your truth. Because when you're single, you don't have nobody to answer to. So the fuck what somebody don't like something. Oh well, on to the next one. Keep it moving, brother. Or
Mm,
sis, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. When you single, you don't have shit to where you don't have nobody to answer to. You don't have nobody's feelings to consider. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. So do that. You know what I'm saying? You out here worried about the wrong shit. Worry about
mm.
living your best life. Get to a level where you want to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Get to that level. or what you don't want to. Who gives a fuck? Back to the last episode. Nobody gives a fuck. Who cares? Do you be happy?
That's true. Hey, that's 100% true, man. You cannot go wrong there. But I will tell you, you will face your challenges and temptation even amongst being single. Let's say you want to fuck with somebody who's married. It
That's your
happens.
prerogative.
Mhm.
Boy, I done said it a couple times back in my day. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
know my karma's gonna be crazy. I know my karma's gonna be crazy because I done broke up some happy homes willingly. Willingly played the side role. Didn't give a fuck neither. I was a happy side nigga. I took pride in the fact that I could take another nigga's woman before I could get my own. That shit made me feel good. But that was part of the music I was listening to. I was listening to a whole bunch of Steal Your Girl type shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get to that. Go ahead.
So that played a role in myself. I didn't see nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see anything wrong with that. Now, and again, that's like you can't blame me for that. You can't blame me because your woman chose up my nigga. Like that ain't my problem. You should have stepped your game up, dog.
Facts.
It was too easy to scoop her up like a ground ball. That means you fumbled the bag. That is not my problem. It's not mine. That is your cross to bear, my guy. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep it moving after I hit her ass anyway. It's on to the next one.
But that's a contradiction, don't you think? That's a contradiction of what you said before, because it doesn't fall on him, it falls on her.
That too. Yep, you're right. That falls on her. Blame her. Don't blame me. As a matter of fact, don't even blame yourself, King.
Yeah, don't blame yourself. Blame her. No. Because that goes. Remember, you started this when I say, "Oh, right. All these other." Right. I'm just saying. So how could karma really play a role? I mean, the only thing is that you knew, and yet even though you knew, she chose. Like you said, it's a part of the game. But she put herself in that situation, or she allowed to be tempted, and you did what it did. That's not on. Can you really be blamed for that?
Can I be blamed for it?
No, I don't think you could.
I mean, if it wasn't me, it was gonna be somebody else.
There you go. That's it. That's how I look at that. So could you really punish for that? If it happens to you,
because I made that choice, I willingly put myself in that.
But like you said, you're single, right? What did you do? What did you do besides knowing the fact that, okay, she has somebody, it's fucked up that she has somebody, but I'm still going to do this anyway because it benefits me. It's a selfish reason. It's a selfish reason. You know what I'm saying? I want the pussy because I want to see what it feels like.
I want it. I want it.
But hey, that's what that do you and temptation shit does. Because I'm telling you, it exists, bro. So now it's down to a matter of morals. We know what's wrong. You know, she got a man, or or she got a girl, or he got a girl, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. And there's many people out there that live like that. Like, fuck it, I'm whatever works for me, right? But as we can see, who's really to blame here? If we had to blame one person responsible, who is it?
It's the
person doing it.
Yep, the person that's in it. It ain't their partner's fault. It ain't the person they cheated with fault.
Yep.
It is their fault because they made that decision.
Talk
about accountability.
I mean, hey, that's what we said. So, you was talking about, if this is all I'm seeing, literally right before you was talking about the person cheating and shit. I mean, at the end of the day, that goes back to what I'm talking about. I know I said social media, but that goes back to what you're feeding yourself. Or you watching girls twerk all day on Instagram or TikTok. What are you feeding yourself, bro? You're feeding yourself this lust. You know what I'm saying? And it's not coming from your partner. Now, here's a flip side. Let's say if you're watching videos with you and your partner, is that wrong?
I feel like anything that you're overindulging in is going to be detrimental, no matter what it is. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Always. Excess is horrible.
Right.
No matter what it is, it will play a detrimental role at some point. So, you know, when we talk about lust is the lowest vibration. You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest thing to obtain. So it's so easy to be lustful, you know? The work comes in not being lustful.
It's true. So maybe fighting those urges, fighting that shit, getting away from that shit, like you said, go fucking look at some dogs. Go look at some horses or some shit. Look at something. Yeah,
man, find something. Nigga, play a video game or something. God damn it, like shit. Like, find something else to put your energy into. You gotta reprogram. You gotta reprogram shit. And that's the one thing about, you know, us as humans is we are creatures of habit. You know, we love to be comfortable. We love, people can say all the day, oh, I need spontaneity. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I need some random shit to happen every once in a while. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody likes a little surprise every once in a while. But for the most part, your routine is you wake up, you go brush your teeth, you hop in the shower. You have a routine that's set. If that shit was fucked up every morning, you would go crazy.
Yeah. Yes, that's a fact.
If it was random from the time you opened your eyes until the time you close your eyes, you didn't know
You would
what
lose
time
your
you was
mind.
going to sleep. You didn't know what time
Yes.
you have to wake up. You would lose your fucking mind. You
Yes.
would lose your mind because
Yes.
we are creatures of habit. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So for you to get on social media and for you to keep seeing the same shit, you're comfortable with that. You don't really see nothing wrong with that until once you realize, like, okay, yeah, I'm tired of seeing this shit. You gotta break the monotony, bro. You gotta throw a curveball in there. Watch some
Yep.
sports clips or something. You know what I'm saying?
Be the
Get out of
first
that
one.
shit. Exactly. You gotta
Yep.
take that move. You gotta take that step. Get out of your comfort zone.
Facts. Well, shit, man.
It was a
I
good
feel like this was
episode, man.
yeah, man. I feel like we were dropping some gems in there. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people at one point or another have went through what we're talking about. And I know it correlates to, maybe their relationship now, how they feel about shit now. Even after being together for 5 years, 7 years, maybe even 2 months, they're starting to see things. And it's like, there's a way to shift all of that, to make your relationship work. As long as that trust is there, if it's truly there, if that trust is truly there, this shit is salvageable, man. You can manage it. That's the
Facts.
biggest thing.
Facts. And then, one thing that, thinking off of emotion or acting off of emotion, the devil not gonna come to you when you're at your strongest.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're down and you're weak, that's usually when you start to see the enemy creep. Oh, bars. And when I say devil, I don't mean, in a literal sense, but I do mean, in a spiritual sense. When you were at your lowest, that you attract that low vibration. When you got a high vibration about yourself, when you feeling positive, typically positive, you start to see positive shit. When you're in a negative mind state, and say you and your old lady just got into a huge argument or some shit, you decide, fuck it, I'm leaving, I'm out the house. It's like you can feel you can
Yep.
feel the negativity
What's about to come
around you.
next.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can feel that shit. So
Yes.
it's about, taking a step back and really thinking about, is it worth it?
Mm.
Is it worth it? Whatever move I'm gonna make, whatever gonna come out of my mouth next, is it worth me doing this? And if the answer is a resounding no, then don't do it, dumbass. But if you determine that yes, it's worth it, that's the price you pay for the game you play, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You decided to do that. You put yourself in that situation. You deserve everything that comes out of that. Because if it wasn't
Facts.
for you doing that,
You
the
would not be in that
response
situation.
exactly. You spit in my face and I knock you the fuck out, and everybody like, oh, why you hit him, bitch? You didn't see the fuck you did before that.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Well, this has been another episode of Saying How You Feel. We appreciate y'all coming and chilling with us again. It's always a pleasure. Hopefully we got your brain rolling today, and you might want to hit that person up that you care about and just let them know you love them. Fuck it, nothing bad could come from that.
Facts. 100% across the board. And you know what? And listen, I know we talked about social media temptations and all this other stuff, but just take a time sometimes to reflect inwards. Maybe, what do I want from this? What is this serving me? How is this serving me? Is it helping? Is it hurting me? All that self-reflection.
What am I
Insane.
getting from scrolling? What is this doing for me?
Yes. All of that plays a factor.
Fucking right.
All right. Anywho, I'm Say.
Well, I'm Mo.
And this will Say How You Feel. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.